Welcome, everybody, to Strangest Species, episode 12 of season 2. I am your host, Mike Davis, here with the one, the only, Ethne.
Wait, episode 12 or 11?
12. Kind of.
Okay.
You could say 11 and a half.
Oh, I like that.
So, here's the scenario. We recorded 11 yesterday. It's supposed to come out tomorrow, but we had some technical difficulties. I need to do some editing on it before it can come out. And I'm not really sure how to do that, so I got to figure that out. And so we're recording another one, which I'm calling 12. And we'll just keep going until some week you'll hear 11. But it might be week 13, it might be 14, it might be 15.
And then all of a sudden it will say 11.
It will say 11 because that's what we've already recorded.
Gotcha.
But the tricky thing with these episodes is I can't go back and re-record them because the whole premise is that you don't know what we're talking about.
Right. So we can't re-record.
But I'll figure it out. It won't be so bad.
We'll see if you can figure it out.
Yeah. But a little bit of technical difficulties on my end.
Hopefully we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, essentially, it's a wasted episode because you can never do the topic again.
Yeah. Once Ethne knows, then she doesn't get the shock factor.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
So we're going to do a different one right now that will come out tomorrow, which will... episode number 12, but it'll be in the place of 11.
And it's going to be a little on the speedy side.
Yeah, we're not going to do any catch-up here, but all the catch-up that we had in our lives, and we had some crazy stuff happen,
It's the same.
will be on 11. So you'll still hear it, just I don't know when.
I'm sure you guys all care so much.
Yes. So, Ethne, what do you want to talk about? What are we going to talk about?
We are going to talk about the friction of the universe.
Whoa. This isn't like a nerdy science podcast.
I have no idea what that even means. I just made up stuff right there.
That's good, because it's probably not a thing, but it probably is a thing they don't even know about yet.
Well, there you go. When they start talking about it, you can just come to me.
Okay, but we won't talk about that today.
Okay. Anything in the universe?
Sure, all of our stories take place in the universe.
Yeah. So I think I knew it.
Good job.
So there you go. We're done. It's
We're
over.
done. Ethne has figured it out. What's your favorite museum you've ever been to?
Ooh, gosh. I remember as a kid, I think my most exciting one, because it was a field trip and stuff, was the planetarium in Calgary. And I don't even think it's called that anymore. I'm certain it's not called that. But it had so many cool things. I mean, obviously related to space, but like this ball that was floating in the air and dancing around and like, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. It's a lot of the experiences are stuck in my mind. But we've been to lots of cool museums.
Yeah.
And like,
Floating
I guess
balls are cool.
When I think of cool museums, I mean, Cleveland had a lot. I don't really know if the word cool is the right word.
Well, my question was just what your favorite one.
Like, I haven't been to the Louvre. But, like, do you consider a science center a museum? Because that's more what the planetarium is.
I would throw it in the same category. For our purposes, sure.
Okay.
So the Pacific Science Center is pretty awesome.
Yeah, like the PacSci is pretty awesome. But, I mean, I wouldn't want to be going a million times or anything.
No,
I'm kind of, yeah. Like, would you even consider the one that we have a membership to? I can't think of the name right now. Here in Spokane.
Yeah, that's a museum.
Like when they had the Minecraft exhibit. That's the word I'm looking for. I mean, that was cool.
Yeah. Then I went with Oaks on a field trip, and they did a World's Fair exhibit.
But I think my favorite would be still the planetarium.
Yeah.
I think with all the nostalgia associated with it too.
Yeah. I feel bad for kids who don't grow up in cities that are big enough where they can go to museums on field trips.
Well, but they could go
That's what I did too.
Sure,
in
but
San Antonio. I don't even know what museums we went to, but I remember thinking they were cool.
Yeah, but I think you could go on any field trip. It doesn't matter where you live, whether there's a museum or not. It's going to be awesome because it's a field trip.
Yeah.
Right?
Field trips are cool.
It could be the zoo. It could be cattails.
But I'd much rather go to the zoo.
You know what I'm saying? Like any field trip, I think really will just be awesome. So anywhere you live, as long as you go on a field trip, that's cool.
Yeah.
Some are a little mundane, but it's more so not the activity, but how the activity is presented. How about that?
Sure. I like that.
So there you go.
I don't know what the coolest museum I've ever been to would be.
I mean, I remember reading in the Da Vinci Code, like the Louvre and stuff. That sounds cool to go to.
Sure.
But I've never been there.
Yeah, some of those big ones. Cleveland has a very nice art museum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was fun because it wasn't just like paintings and things. It was also a lot
weird art.
A lot of weird art, a lot of medieval artifacts, Egyptian things.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Well, today we're going to talk about museums.
Okay.
We're going to talk about not your typical museums. We're going to talk about some of the most unique and bizarre museums in the world.
Ooh, yeah. There are a lot of weird museums up there. I mean, there's one even in Newport on the right-hand side of the road that I drive by every weekend. Don't actually know what it is a museum of and thought, should I even entertain this?
So Newport, I don't know how many people live in Newport, Washington. It is a small town.
Mm-hmm.
It has at least 2 museums.
I just know the one on that right-hand side. Is
right. And I don't know what it is either, if it's like a mining museum or like a ranger, because they have like a ranger outpost station there and all sorts of crap. But as you're leaving town the other way, they have the ambulance museum.
You have mentioned that before, right on that main street.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Which I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, is there multiple ambulance?
Well, you can see inside, and there's 7 or 8 cars, like super old ambulances, which I guess they drive enough traffic to stay open.
Yeah. And again, our museum's like nonprofit, right? So then what does it take to even be open?
Some of the museums we talk about today, actually almost all of them are going to be private.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, let's hear it.
Yeah. So for the first museum that we're going to talk about today, we are going to the wonderful country of Croatia.
Ooh.
And this is the Museum of Broken Relationships.
Okay. This is very abstract.
Yes.
Are there like pictures of people crying?
Well, it's dedicated to failed love relationships.
Sure. Are there pictures of like these terrible faces and sadness? Or what the heck do you put in this museum?
Well, all of its exhibits include personal objects that were left over from former lovers, accompanied by descriptions of said items.
This is so weird. Okay.
Yeah. So it was founded by 2 local artists, and they were dating. They dated for 4 years. But when their relationship came to an end, the 2 joked about setting up a museum to house each other's leftover personal items. So like, your sweatshirt at my house and your DVDs.
But they thought that someone else would care about this?
Well, it was kind of just like a joke.
Right.
But then 3 years later, one of the guys, or one of the 2 in the relationship, contacted the other one. And I would say their names, but I have 0 chance of pronouncing them correctly. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what the little like symbols above all these letters mean.
Yeah.
So we won't try. But contacting them with this idea, this time really like, hey, we should do this.
3 years later?
Yeah. And so they started asking their friends to donate objects left behind from breakups. And the collection was born.
So weird.
Yeah. So it's divided into several segments, the museum. The main segment being material remains, actual things. Then there is another one that's like an archive of letters and pictures and stuff. And then there's a virtual where you can actually submit your own things. But the material one is objects that people leave behind or documents, photographs, love letters, messages. But here's an example of one. So it's an axe.
Okay. Like an axe for wood.
Yep.
Okay.
Like a full-size axe. That's called the X-axe. And here's the description that comes with it. You ready?
I'm so ready.
And I quote, "She was the first woman that I let move in with me. All my friends thought I needed to learn to let people in more. A few months after she moved in, I was offered to travel to the U.S. She could not come along. At the airport, we said goodbye in tears, and she was assuring me she could not survive 3 weeks without me. I returned after 3 weeks, and she said, I fell in love with someone else. I have known them for just 4 days, but I know they can give me everything you cannot." So it seems like they were really into each other to begin with. I asked her about her plans regarding our life together, which makes sense. The next day, she still had no answer, so I kicked her out. She immediately went on holiday with her new significant other, while her furniture stayed with me. Not knowing what to do with my anger, I finally bought this axe at some store I can't pronounce to blow off steam and to give her at least a small feeling of loss, which she obviously did not have after our breakup. In the 14 days of her holiday, every day I axed one piece of her furniture. I kept the remains there as an expression of my inner condition. The more her room filled with chopped furniture, acquiring the look of my soul, the better I felt. 2 weeks after she left, she came back for the furniture. It was neatly arranged into small heaps and fragments of wood.
This is wild.
Yeah. She took the trash and left my apartment for good. The axe was then promoted to a therapy instrument. So that axe is on display. So these are the kind of things you can see at the Museum of, what did I even call it? Of broken relationships.
Broken relationships.
Now this museum gets, how many visitors do you think a year a museum like this gets?
I don't even know how many like a normal average one like in DC would get.
Me either.
So, and I don't know anything about Croatia.
It's in Europe.
Oh, right. I do know that.
You knew that, I know.
Yeah. 10,000.
About 100,000.
Maybe it's more out of curiosity.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I think most of these that we're going to talk about today are more out of curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the song / the tires, it's like a...
The Carrie Underwood song?
Yeah, the Carrie Underwood song came to mind. Like, that was a broken relationship song.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of songs about it and slashing things. And so I guess it must be therapeutic, but it seems a little...
I don't think all of them, though.
Not premeditated, like... strange. I just don't know what else to say. It just seems very psychologically strange.
Yeah, it does seem strange. If we break up, think of all the things I could contribute.
For axing?
But I guess, no, just, but I guess we can't. It wouldn't work because this is your house.
Well, it's your house too.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like you can leave things at my house because
you could just
live
like
in the same house.
Axe a piece of the house every day.
We don't have to axe. It's just a thing. Like it could be other non-violent memorabilia.
Right. I'm just trying to express the weirdness of said axe. Like, she didn't seem all that flustered about her furniture, or at least he didn't in that description make it seem that way.
Now, what do you do at that point?
I mean, yeah, just burn it.
Well, you're going to go move in with your new significant other that you're truly in love with, so they probably have furniture.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's no big deal.
No biggie.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's our first museum. You just stick around to the end because they're going to get progressively more awesome.
I mean, I'm right here.
That's true. You're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
If you're listening. The next one, we're going to the Salab International Museum of Toilets.
Where is Salab?
In Delhi, India.
Okay.
Not New Delhi, the old Delhi.
Yeah. Okay. Museum of Toilets. This would be interesting.
Yeah. It is ran by Sulab International, which is dedicated to the global history of sanitation and toilets.
I mean, great.
I mean, I don't know how many nonprofits there are dedicated to toiletry.
I don't know either.
But
this is for profit?
This is one of them.
Oh, it's nonprofit.
No, nonprofit.
Well, I mean, even to this day, toileting I will use that as a verb, is very different in like Japan. Even though Japan is modernized and civilized, it's just a very different experience. And then obviously you're going second world, third world, it's way different experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this one could be very, very involved, depending on if you focus on just India or if you, because it's in India, or if you take it like on a world landscape. So I'm curious.
We're going world landscape back 5,000 years.
Wow. All the way till now.
Correct.
Interesting.
So their main objective is to highlight and address problems in sanitation around the world. But they do this by having this museum, right? So it was established in 1992, has exhibits from over 50 countries.
I mean, that's great. I mean, every country needs sanitation, specifically in the toileting department.
It is a good one to have.
This is very applicable to all places, everywhere.
Their exhibits are arranged chronologically from ancient to medieval to modern. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, what sort of sanitation artifacts do they have on display?
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I will tell you some.
Okay, please.
They have a reproduction of a commode in the form of a treasure chest from the British medieval period.
Ooh, so it's a treasure chest toilet?
Yes.
That you
Does
poop?
not have treasure in it.
Yeah, it has poop.
It has poop in it.
But poop could have a treasure.
If you ate gems and jewels.
Or if you eat your AirPod.
That's true.
Yeah, you can poop it out.
That's true. I've had a number of patients eat crowns and such.
Yeah, poop them out.
And poop them out.
So there could be treasure.
The vast majority of them will say, no, just make me a new one.
Yes, but
Actually, I don't know of any that have brought me back a poop crown.
I think I do know of one working as an assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think my patients ever have.
In a Ziploc bag. I'm certain. I can picture.
Cool.
I was like, oh, that is not happening. And Dr. Cudowitz did it. I was like,
sterilize it?
oh, for sure.
Throw it back in there, huh?
Guess so.
All right. Well, that's a happy day at the office.
No, it's not.
They also have a reproduction of the supposed toilet of King Louis XIV, which is reported to have been used by the king to defecate while holding court.
That must be a really long court if you can't take a poop break.
Well,
and
just
you
think
gotta
how efficient
poop.
your life would be. You're just working and you just poop while you work.
I mean, people that are like super marathoners and like some of them really do poop as they go. So, I mean.
There you go. That sounds also gross.
Yeah. All of it's gross. Okay.
They have a toilet that is camouflaged in the form of a bookcase.
Ooh, I think our children would love
Our
this.
daughter would like that one.
I just think our children would seriously love this museum.
Oh, the museum, yeah.
Like, this one would be a big hit with our boys.
There's some other ones that I think would be big hits with our boys coming.
Okay.
They have the information on the technology transfer from Russia to NASA to convert urine into potable water in space.
It's very convoluted. I'm pretty sure I followed you.
Turn pee to drinking water.
Well, that part I got. It was all the preamble from Russia to
preamble.
somewhere to, I don't know that part, but I got the gist of it.
I'm curious how that even works now.
So why aren't they just bringing water? This is like too complicated to bring.
Or maybe it's just more efficient to keep using the same water over and over again.
Seems like a bad idea, but
So,
okay.
So that's the Celeb International Museum of Toilets.
Yeah.
So
I'm
which
curious.
one would you rather go to of those two? Toilets or broken relationships?
I mean, for reaction purposes, I think toilets.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think
Just
toilets
because
would be better.
I've been a mom of boys for a really long time now. And you would just, again, it relates to everybody.
But little boys love poop.
And all the things related to that. Potty talk. And yeah. I'm sure Vienna would roll her eyes, but she'd laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'd be some good stuff to
Yeah,
learn there.
there would be.
All right. Museum number 3.
Okay. I'm ready.
The Dog Collar Museum.
Oh, There's so many people out there that like treat their dogs like humans. They would love this one.
Yeah, this one gets about 500,000 visitors a year.
Are you kidding me?
No, not kidding you.
Where is this one at?
Kent, England.
Huh. Strange.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you there's some that are like diamond studded and worth like tons. And they're in those like, you know, you see the real art. It's like catches on fire and it has a laser beams and you can't go near it. I bet you it's crazy in there.
It's funny you say that because that's how most of these are.
Okay. Okay. Oh my god.
So it's a unique collection of about 100 collars that span between medieval and Victorian times.
They had collars even back then.
Well, this is an interesting question that I didn't realize either. So if I ask you, what's the point of a dog collar? What would you tell me?
To put their tag on and their name tag and say, I'm Chipped and my name is Maple and call these people. And just so they know that they're owned, like not just a wild dog. And then attach a leash.
And attach a leash. That's exactly. In today's society, that's the function of a dog collar. But back in the day, that wasn't the function of a dog collar.
What was the function?
So in the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries, these dogs were used as hunters, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the forests were full of very, very mean predators that would attack the dogs as well and try to bite their throats.
Oh, like almost like protective.
And so they would put these big collars
like
on
armor.
them. Yeah.
Dog armor.
To protect their vital necks when they're hunting down a boar or when they're hunting down a ferocious turkey.
We are bad dog owners. We need to get an armor plated collar.
So a lot of them back in the day were like thick iron collars with like spikes and actually.
Yeah, we need to up our game.
Yeah, Maples is like got mountains on it or something.
Yeah, it's a beautiful mountain scene. But I mean, for wrestling raccoons, if you've listened to our previous episodes, she needs that.
Well, she needs a lot more than that.
Well, I mean, for the vitalness.
We should get her full body armor.
She would love that, just as much as she loves her winter sweater.
So, but then in the 18th century, they became more decorative and less functional.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of them are like leather with velvet or royal arm coats. Yes,
those would not stink.
Things like that.
Like velvet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Velvet dog collars.
Like the Hot Loops dog collar was disgusting within a week. So I can't even imagine what like a velvet collar might look like on. Well, unless it's like one of those teeny tiny lap dogs that doesn't do anything but sit on your lap, you know.
I don't know how popular those were back in the day.
Yeah, because they were also used for function to hunt, right? Yeah. Pointer dogs to get the birds and retrievers and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I think they were much more functional back then. So there's probably not any little tiny lap dogs.
No.
Not at this point. That's what you get a cat for.
Yeah. Our cat is currently killing a mouse right now.
And not killing, torture.
Well, they'll end up dying.
Well, sure, but it's deliberately torturing.
It's been at least a half an hour.
And our dog tried to intervene and she did not like that.
No.
Like, at all.
Ran off with her mouse. Like, leave me alone.
Like, gave Maple a dirty look. Yeah. Like, do not touch my mouse.
It was a very cute little mouse tonight. Sometimes they're big and less cute. This one was very little and cute.
They're mostly cute.
But that's their function.
To be cute?
No, for the cats, to kill them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, on to our next one.
Okay.
This is where we really start up in our
game.
Our interest level.
Okay. Here we go.
We're going to go to Japan.
Oh, I love Japan.
Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
The Meguro Parasitological Museum.
Like a museum of parasites?
You betcha.
Oh, gross.
Devoted to parasites and the science of parasitology. Founded in 1953 by one Dr. Satoru Kamagai.
Kamegai.
There you go.
Kamegai.
Like that. That's an interesting Japanese last name.
It is a last name.
That's a hard one.
It is a hard one. But okay, so is there just like big blown up pictures of creepy parasites that like, oh, this one's crawling on your skin and this one's in your bed and this, like that kind?
No.
Are they real?
Over 300 specimens in formaldehyde.
that are dead, like preserved.
Preserved.
And you look
on
at
their
them
hosts. No.
on
so it's
the host.
Yeah, so it's like, here's a fish exploding with these gross vesicles. Those vesicles are blank parasite.
Oh, blech.
Yeah.
Why do we have to be so gross?
Well, so it actually, Dr. What'd you say his last name was?
Kamegai.
Yeah. So he was a physician in Japan back in the late 40s, early 50s. And the Japanese population was quite plagued by parasites. There was little knowledge, kind of common knowledge amongst the people. And so he started this as a educational thing, like just his own. And it's still to this day a private.
It's still there?
Yeah, it's still there. It's a little 2-story museum. But like I said, it's got over 300 preserved specimens, including an 8.8 meter tapeworm.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I think
almost
my
30
cat
feet
has
long.
a tapeworm. That's crazy. So, question that I've never thought about before. So obviously cadavers are preserved, especially ones for teaching medical students and all sorts of medical professions, right? But usually once you've dissected, inspected, they get moved on, right? This guy has, like, can you keep something? So this started in the 1940s. It's now 2014. Can you?
Actually, like 2024.
Or I mean 24. But can you actually keep the same preserved specimen in the same formaldehyde for that many years and it's fine? Like there's still a time span, I would say, to most other cadavers and preserved items, correct?
Yes. So to answer question 1, I don't know if you have to change formaldehyde. I doubt many people use formaldehyde at all anymore.
Well, sure, but
I don't know if after 10 years you pour it out and pour a new one in. But 2, like being fixed in a liquid preservative is very different than being a cadaver that's just sitting there. Like yes, it's been treated, but it's not.
Well, sure,
submerged
but
in.
Really you're using it, you're dissecting, you're pulling it apart, and you can't really use it again. It's like you can't, so you just move on to the next one. In this situation, you're trying to keep it for as long as possible. Is that a thing that you can just keep it for like the formaldehyde doesn't go bad after a while, or like?
I definitely think these are all originals.
Wow.
Because the pictures are like these little Japanese, like, handwritten note cards on the jars and stuff.
Wow, that's impressive. I don't think I'd want to go into this.
Looking.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to go to this one at all.
It's a lot of weird, like, what's that weird thing growing out of that crab? Or what's that,
And so, like, the thing that you're seeing is actually not the parasite. You are seeing what the parasite does to the host. Because parasites are microscopic. So if you're looking at the host,
some aren't microscopic.
Well, okay, like a tapeworm, but generally speaking, you're not going to see them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But do you see what I'm saying?
You're right.
Like his
generally,
museum
very
is
little.
His museum is what it does to the host, not what the actual parasite looks like. Like this has 37 legs and it's
not
blown
like,
up, but you're not looking at a microscope.
Nope.
Of formaldehyde.
It's not like an electron microscope scan of.
But in formaldehyde, you are literally looking at the host and what it does.
Correct.
Interesting. That's worse in my mind.
It's definitely strange. There's some gross pictures.
Like way worse.
Yeah. So, and he started this just on his own, like research, right?
People have weird hobbies.
And it is said that he would, like when he would see a dead animal,
like pick it up
and examine it. Like, ooh, are there any parasites I don't have on this or that I don't know about? Same with feces.
Like just
looking for those parasites. So
gross.
It does have 300 specimens, like I said, but it also has. So let's take this back. It has 300 preserved specimens, like in formaldehyde and stuff. The research library there contains over 60,000 parasite specimens, as well as 50,000 papers and 5,000 books on parasites. So it's a big educational center.
Yeah.
I believe it's free to go to.
So if it's free, I don't understand
how... They have a gift shop where you can buy a cool 30 foot long tapeworm. That's what I'm trying to say. t-shirts, things like that. They also sell mobile phone straps with actual parasites embedded into the acrylic. And phone straps are very big in Japan.
Oh, phone straps, but all the little things attached to your phone strap. Wow. I mean, your phone is literally in Japan like the tiniest things you've ever seen. And then you have chisai, so tiny. You have these keitai denwa, what are they called? Like I can't even, little trinkets. I don't know, keychains kind of, that are literally like 20 pounds. And your
They're
phone.
like Crocs for your phone.
It's not Crocs. It's those
the little things.
the
on
little
Crocs.
buttons you put. Yes, but for your phone. They're foofy and sparkly and smelly, and some are obviously parasitic.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
They're smart. They
Yeah.
know what people want.
Now, I lived there a long time ago, but I wonder if it's still the same.
I sure hope so.
Oh, yeah. It's epic.
So
Japan's the best. Okay.
So that is the.
I would not
Meguro
want anywhere. I
parasitic.
wouldn't want anything to do with this. I would think it would be interesting to go into one that has like these beautiful electron microscope, like blown up pictures of what it is and what it does and kind of a description of that. And that's the extent. I do not want to see the host and whatever. Nope.
I used to work on an electron microscope. It's a lot of long, boring days. Now I have PTSD about electron microscopes.
Sure, you just go and look at the images. You don't actually work the image or work the electron microscope.
All right, you ready to move on to our next one?
Was that your nanoparticle thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm so ready.
We got 3 more.
Okay, I'm ready.
The Bunny Museum.
Ooh, I like bunnies. We have cute bunnies.
You don't like bunnies as much as these people like bunnies.
Where are we at in the world here?
Altadena, California.
Altadena, California. I've never heard of that
Me
place.
either.
But okay, but before you tell me anymore, who thinks that there needs to be a bunny museum?
Candace Frazee and Steve Lubansky. Those 2 people.
For why? Like,
So it's actually pretty funny how it started.
okay.
So they're a married couple,
Mm-hmm.
but back when they were dating, they started a tradition, and I assume they both had a love of rabbits or bunnies already, but they started a tradition where they would give each other a bunny-themed gift every day.
Every day?
Every day. Not every anniversary or every year. Every day. Which I think is kind of fun.
That
It
does
made
not
me think, if we were going to give each other a gift every day, what would the theme be?
I mean, I want nothing every day like that. Except for hugs.
Okay.
Seriously, give me a hug every day.
That sounds too hard. Just kidding.
That would be my theme.
But let's say it had to be a thing. And you can't throw these things away.
Band-Aids.
What?
Can you use them?
I mean, I guess.
I actually think fun Band-Aids are really fun. Like, remember those funny ones we got with the unicorn and like they have jokes on them, and we've had Mickey Mouse and Band-Aids. Every day you give me a Band-Aid, but I have to be able to use it. They're small, they're tiny, they're functional. You could be silly. It would be Band-Aids.
I'm going to go with, I don't know what. I was thinking like Lego, but I was like, that'd get real. You'd run out of stuff.
Like a piece of Lego or an entire kit?
Lego themed. Doesn't have to be a whole kit. It could be a keychain. It could be a movie. It could be a t-shirt. It could be a towel.
I already have a child that's so obsessed with Lego. I'm kind of almost over it because I'm basically forced to look at new Legos every day.
There are a lot
Today, he sent me 7, 8 pictures of Legos. Just randomly. No explanation, no reason. Just like my brother. Like, just sends me these pictures and I'm like, cool.
Yeah. What's the narrative here? Give me some context to this photo.
I think I have an idea, but
Yes, he wants you to buy them, I think.
No, I don't want. Lego's fun. It's colorful. If it was a piece of Lego every day, that would kind of be fun.
I'm gonna go with officially Disneyland. All
Theme?
Disneyland themed memorabilia or things.
No, I like my Band-Aids.
Band-Aids. That's so boring.
That is not boring. There are some pretty fun Band-Aids out there.
Yeah, but after 30 years of getting a daily Band-Aid.
You could get smelly Band-Aids that smell like pickles. I mean, there's all sorts of things out there. It would get wild.
It definitely would get wild because
Sparkle Band-Aids.
I hate sparkly things.
That's why I'd
Well,
give it
that's
to
not true.
you.
I like sparkly things. I hate glitter.
That's why I'd give it to you. It'd be a glitter bomb Band-Aid.
Glitter bomb Band-Aid. That's fun to say. So that's where it started.
Okay.
But when you do that, your house fills up with bunny crap really fast.
I mean, obviously, that's why I picked Band-Aids.
Yeah. So currently, and I don't know how currently is, their home houses more than 35,000 bunny-related items across
This is so
16 galleries and 7,000 square feet.
This is so terrible.
Yeah,
I bet you there is a Lego museum out there.
I'm sure.
I don't know what that would mean, but it'd have to be like a free design museum.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't ever make it from a kit. It's
Right.
something out of your own
That'd
design.
be cool.
You should look it up and see if there is one.
We'll do that. So this is displayed into 111 different categories, which include
There's that many categories of bunnies?
cookie jars,
Oh my god.
lunch pails, slot machines, music boxes.
Wait, slot machines like the ones for gambling? Or
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah.
one you like? That's not a slot machine.
No,
That's
not pinball machines.
pinball.
Slot
Okay.
machines. Yeah, you're right the first time. Chocolate, thimbles, characters such as
Thimbles?
Bugs Bunny and
You
Thumper.
can get bunny thimbles.
Apparently.
That's a category all on its own.
Mm-hmm.
This is blowing.
There's an entire room dedicated to horror rabbits.
Okay, actually, we have friends that have a committing suicide bunny book. Like,
I don't even know what that means.
I know. Actually, I want to borrow it from them. It is all the ways that these bunnies commit suicide.
Okay. I don't still know what that means.
Yeah. I'll have to tell you about it after.
You know what else you need to tell me about? From 2 weeks ago when as I was driving home with our son from the camper, and we listened to the People in the Walls one episode, and which is the first one I've listened to of one of ours in a long time. And you were telling me about your seance friends, but I still don't know who they are.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's right.
I need to tell you about that after we're off air.
So, they have Easter eggs from the White House. They have floats from, I want to say it's the Macy's Day Parade, but maybe it's the Pasadena Parade. Maybe
This
those
is
are the same
terrible.
parades. I don't
This
know.
is absolutely terrible.
They do have 3 living rabbits.
Only 3?
Only 3.
I mean, at Kukanusa, they had like 30 right
Our
outside the
backyard
ice
has
cream
like
shop.
30.
Not anymore.
Well, they used to.
Yeah.
And they hold the world record for owning the most bunny items in the world. They've owned that record since 1999.
Like, is that a Guinness Book
It is.
record? That's a I mean, can you make any category in the Guinness Book? Like,
You know, I've often wondered that because there's some weird things that no one would ever come up with unless someone said, like, hey, make this a record. I own 35,000 pieces of bunny memorabilia.
are they still alive, these people?
Yeah.
Are they doing this to this day?
Mm-hmm.
This is just the worst idea ever.
You could go visit them.
I have no desire to do that.
Well, maybe you'll want to go to our next museum.
The one that I want to go to the most is still probably the toilet one. One, because I get to go to India and I just want to see India. But 2, like, I think you'd get the most funny reactions.
I want to go to an Indian scam call center museum.
Yes.
That's what I want to go to.
I don't think that's a museum, but you could find an Indian call center scam place.
Yeah.
Maybe
I like
one.
to watch some of those YouTube videos where they like scam the scammers.
Yeah, that would
pretty
be
funny.
That is funny.
So, all right, you ready for our next one?
I'm ready.
Good old Hollywood, California, baby.
Love it.
The Museum of Death.
Oh, yeah. People are very intrigued by death.
very intrigued by
I mean,
the
look at
macabre.
Halloween. Yeah, by the macabre. I don't know what
Morbid.
that would entail.
Well, this one's pretty intense.
Oof. I would
It's
not want to be
probably
going
not
to this.
up your alley.
Nope. I know it's not.
Probably not.
I know it's not.
You're a little into death.
No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. This one was established in 1995
Okay.
by J.D. Healy and Catherine Schultz, with the museum's stated goal being to make people happy to be alive. That's a noble quest.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
So, how do you start a museum of death? Like, where do you go to get your first exhibits?
A morgue?
A morgue would be good.
Mhm.
So, this actually began as a hobby of our two founders.
Ooh, roadkill.
Roadkill would be,
It's free.
it's free, it's dead.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I guess you could taxidermy it in its squished state,
Yeah.
maybe.
I have no idea.
So, well, that's not what they did. So they started writing to serial killers in jail.
This is straight up messed up.
Yeah. And then they would show the artwork and letters from their new pen pals at an annual exhibit. But then after a few years of doing that, they moved the collection into a permanent museum.
So you can just find out where a serial killer is at in prison and just write them a letter?
Sure.
It's a good homeschool project.
Yeah. You should do that this year.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. Maybe you could like write various
I just can't.
death row inmates, and you could pick like a serial killer or maybe a terrorist or maybe other kind of offenders.
What's the project?
Well, you compare the letters and see like, oh, we found that mass murderers in general are more friendly than serial killers. Something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Just
I mean, Lincoln would probably think that's really cool. But I would be like, no, you are not sending them a message. You are not, I didn't even know you could do that.
yeah.
You don't have to be a next of kin or they recognize the return address or anything. I mean, they'll just give it to them.
Yeah, yeah.
So could I be like, I'm going to sneak you out?
Well, I think, I don't know how much of it is read or not read.
Previously.
Right.
I just didn't even know this was a thing. I'd never even thought about it before. Interesting. I just assumed it had to be like, there's these certain people you can receive letters from. Otherwise, they just go away.
So there's a lot of people, not a lot of people, there are some people who become very fixated on and like obsessed with serial killers.
I know.
And want to like marry them. And
Yeah, which is
so even like Brian Koberger,
so creepy.
who's been arrested for the 4 killings over at the University of Idaho,
Yes.
still innocent until proven guilty.
Yes.
But a whole bunch of psycho chicks, like fan club, that write them all the time.
I don't understand this.
I don't either. Those are the kind of people that probably go to the Museum of Death.
I mean, and probably don't have very healthy relationships.
Probably not.
I mean, sorry to anyone out there listening that maybe, I don't know, has a thing for serial killers.
Yeah. You should probably get that checked out. I'm just saying. That's a little friendly advice.
This is minor detail in your life. You might want to check out. Yeah.
So, according to their website, they have the following exhibits. They have body bags, coffins, and
Like body bags that are empty?
I think so.
Okay.
They have coffins and skull collections,
Okay.
the theater of death,
Okay.
antique mortician apparatuses,
Interesting.
Manson family photos.
Okay.
So going very specific there. Crime and morgue scene photos,
Wow.
artwork and letters from infamous serial killers.
Are you allowed to have actual crime scene photos? Like, is that open to the public?
That's
or
a
are they
good
like
question.
made up or
No,
chat
no.
GP?
Everything there is very real, very authentic. And they actually have another one in New Orleans. And you will not see any of the same things in both because they won't do any replicas or anything. Like everything in there is real.
So where do they get their crime scene pictures?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously everything that sense is public record.
The pictures?
But those kind of things I don't know are like actual police reports. I don't know if
Right,
it's
like
like a
you can
FOIA
read.
request. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's leaked things. That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay. I would not want to go to this one
They
at
have
all.
graphic car accident photos
Oh my gosh.
as an exhibit.
So disgusting.
They have a cannibalism exhibit and much more.
I mean, what would a cannibal exhibit even have?
People with like bites out of them.
Yeah, really?
I don't know.
I mean, really?
Yeah, I really don't know.
If you really sit down and think about this, you're like, are these pictures of people who are cannibals? Or is this like, here is how you fillet? Like educational, like you fillet a human body. Here is how you do it. Step-by-step pictures?
I could help with that.
No, you can help with post-mortem. I'm talking, well, like,
those are probably post-mortem too.
they are, but not meant for consumption.
Right, yeah. I've never eaten any of the cadavers that I filleted.
But they're also preserved. It's very different. This is fresh.
Fresh. So here's a TripAdvisor review.
They have a TripAdvisor review. Okay, this is
Yeah.
going to be great. Okay.
Unfortunately, too graphic. We should have read more before visiting. Not for teens, at all. I'm in the medical field and nearly had a panic attack at the first exhibit and need to scrub my eyeballs. This is for mature audiences only.
Even mature. What is that? I don't even like that definition. What is mature audiences?
This is for
Like,
morbidly insane
yes,
audiences only.
Yes, literally, that is the term. Because there's things out there that are just too, I'm not saying make light, but kind of like too.
Well, I'm with you. I would have no desire to go to this museum.
But
And I'm very fascinated by the macabre and death in general.
right.
But
But
not
to
in-
fantasize. What's the right, like to make it seem glorified. That's the right word. Glorified. Something like this. That's not for any audience unless, like, that's not mature audiences. Because
Yeah.
even this person who was an adult and a medical professional wanted to scrub out their own eyeballs. I mean,
I'm with you.
but it's sort of terrifying out. Like,
So it was really funny going through the TripAdvisor reviews
oh, I can only imagine.
because they were all 1-star or 5-star. There was nothing in between.
Nothing in between.
It was like, oh my goodness. Like, I can't, not at all what I was expecting. Should not be a thing. This is so terrible. Or, this is the best museum in LA. This place is awesome.
So just for that specific one? Or like, did you read the TripAdvisor reviews for the bunny one?
No, I just read TripAdvisor reviews for this one.
This one. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Like, does everyone love the bunnies? Or are they kind of like, one, this was so lame. These people just are way too into bunnies.
I'm sure there are people who think it's lame, but probably don't have the visceral reaction that,
Oh, sure.
oh, here's an actual crime scene photo
Yeah.
of the Manson murders or whatever.
Yeah.
I did get a general vibe from reading. I read the whole first page of reviews on TripAdvisor, and there were definitely a lot of people who said like, almost like they're glorifying like serial killers and stuff.
Right.
It's one thing to present like, hey, this is a reality that happens, and here's the ugly side of the reality
Right.
of death. And I'm not one for censoring art or things if there's an audience for it and people want to do it. Now, I don't think everything's for everyone, but if you were going to do that, then you would still want to probably present it pretty sympathetically to the victims.
I would hope so.
And a
And
lot of
and
people
their
don't
families.
get that vibe. It's very, almost glorifying the perpetrators.
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's awful. We have one more?
We have one more.
Oh, gosh. I don't even know if I want to know. I hope it's a pickle museum.
It's pretty close to a pickle museum.
Is it? Because
Yeah.
Vienna would love that.
It's the Icelandic Phallological Museum.
Oh, I know what that means.
It's a pickle museum.
I mean, yes, it's a pickle museum.
What does that mean, Ethne?
Well, for all the children listening, because we have many.
We have some.
Just say it?
Yeah, it's a penis museum.
It's a penis. Okay, I didn't know. I'm like, should I be just saying the word?
Oh, sure.
It's a penis museum, everybody.
Not any kind of penis museum, though, an Icelandic.
Does that make it
museum.
extra special?
It does. So it displays an impressive collection of over 300 specimens from more than 100 different species, from whales to seals to walruses to polar bears to hamsters.
So they're like preserved in formaldehyde?
A lot of them are just out there. Whether they're like fixed other ways, like taxidermied or...
Wow.
Yeah, so it was founded in 1997 by a guy, again, whose name I cannot pronounce. But he was a teacher and a principal for 37 years in how do you say that? Reykjavik?
That doesn't sound right, but I can now.
Reykjavik.
Anyways,
that place that everyone goes to on vacation in Iceland. His interest began during childhood in the 70s when he was given a bull's penis as a cattle whip. So it was like a cane, essentially. And he's like, hey, this thing's cool.
This is not weird at all.
Yeah. So then people started giving him gifts of various penises as jokes throughout his life. And with enough time, he had amassed every mammal in Iceland's penis.
Good for him.
What a collection.
Yeah. So then he's like,
all of your native
better
mammals.
start a museum.
So I was like, hey, yeah, let's turn the collection into a museum. He has a bow tie made from a sperm whale's penis that is on display, but he wears it at Christmas parties.
No.
Yes.
No.
Then this is what I want for Christmas.
No.
Ethne, come on.
No.
So lame.
Is it leather?
Leathery, I'm sure, yeah.
You know what I'm picturing? This bow tie is like a pig-eared dog tree.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of like that dog tree that Mariah gave Maple last week.
Like a pig-eared dog tree bow tie. But actually it's a penis. So like hard.
Yeah.
Gross.
But a wonderful conversation piece.
I don't think it's a wonderful conversation piece. I think it is a conversation piece, but not wonderful. There's plenty other better conversation pieces.
Like what? So you can't name one better conversation piece.
Yeah, the big, beautiful diamond necklace.
Everyone's seen those.
Japanese K-tie dangly thingies on their cell phones.
If it has a parasite in it, okay, maybe is a contender. Maybe. If you have a tapeworm in your phone case, then we can talk.
Okay, I'll work on it. It's like the tequila worm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the giant tapeworm.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Cool.
So, yeah, the exhibits have jars of different mammals' penises. But here's the cool thing about the museum. Next to them are drawings of the animal with interesting facts that accompany the displays. Now, these aren't any facts. These are all focused on the animal's courting habits.
Penis facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these include diet, mating pattern, courting habits, mating frequency, mating habits, average phallus length, testicular size, and oddities.
Wow.
I'll give you an example.
This is amazing.
So for reindeer, everyone's favorite.
I love reindeer.
Yeah. So here's the oddities section for reindeer.
Okay.
That's what it reads. Fasting and constant mating in the mating season causes weight loss for males and even heart attacks.
Okay.
So their mating season is only 10 days.
Wow.
So they got to get after it.
10 days in a whole year?
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
But sometimes they go so hard that they have a heart attack.
That's
That's reindeer life for you.
It's weird. Yeah.
So I bet you didn't know that about reindeer.
I mean, I bet you Santa's reindeers are different.
Maybe. I don't know. So here's some interesting facts about the Phallological Museum. It contains a 2 millimeter penis of a hamster.
I just can't. I can't.
There is a microscope for that one. That's the smallest exhibit in the museum.
You don't need a microscope for 2 millimeters. You can see 2 millimeters with the naked eye.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. But it's better.
2 millimeters seems really tiny for a hamster. Like you would think that like a mouse one would be smaller.
No. I'm not an expert.
I mean, I am.
Mammal phallic sizes across the world.
I for surely am.
The most sizable exhibit is a sperm whale measuring at 1.5 meters.
Obviously.
Or about 4 feet.
Obviously. I mean,
It's like the size of our youngest child.
Mammal.
They're not a blue whale, sperm whale.
Well, they're still pretty big.
Yeah. This is my favorite one. The museum claims to have penises of both elves and trolls.
Elves? Like Santa's elves?
Probably not Santa's elves, but regular elves.
What is a regular elf?
Just a normal woodland elf. Maybe a Keebler elf.
I wonder.
But not Santa's elves.
Okay.
And trolls. But they're invisible per Icelandic folklore.
So you can't see them?
You can't see them, no.
But they're there.
But they're there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So apparently in Icelandic folklore, there is trolls and elves.
Mm-hmm.
But these are Icelandic trolls and elves.
Obviously.
I just had to clarify.
Yeah. So there's also a food court that serves
Like
phallic-shaped waffles and things.
Yeah, penis-shaped everything.
All of their beers on tap have penis names.
How many names are there for a penis?
Well, not necessarily specifically like a name for a penis, but there's somehow like one of them's like Moby Dick Ale, and one of them's like they're all
wonderful. This is so wonderful. We should have asked any of our friends that have been to Iceland. I only know of 2. If they went to this museum.
I want to go to the museum.
Of course you do. I mean, yeah, obviously.
If I only could have one on the list.
That would be the one?
It would be that one.
Because it's in Iceland or because it's penises?
No, Iceland.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And it seems like the most educational.
Oh, stop it. Like it matters what size the sperm whale's penis is. I mean, who cares?
Surprisingly, the reindeer only has like a 4-inch penis.
Shocking.
Yeah. I guess reindeers are pretty small.
Okay, this is too much thought processing into this here. But you can go there and I'll go to India. And I'll go to the toilet one.
I'm not going to say anything. Okay.
Actually, we could both. I like to travel.
I think Iceland would be a much nicer vacation than India. But I would love to go to India.
I would love to go to both places.
On my list.
I would love to go to both places.
But every time I watch YouTube videos of people going to India, they're always like, holy crap, this place is dirty.
Well, it's so many people.
Yeah.
And, probably very dusty and just, I don't know. I mean, I've never been there, but there's so many people.
There's a lot of people.
So
anyways, those are some interesting museums that you can go to.
It'd be fun to know if any of you have been to any of these museums. Like,
that's true.
You guys should send us a message if you've been to any of the ones we talked about today. I would like to know. I would like to know.
And we have listeners all over the place.
Yeah, we do. I don't know if we have any from Iceland. Have you ever noticed?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Now you need to go and look.
I was looking at last week's stats, and it was funny. The by far number one place was Washington, D.C.
Weird.
Which I don't know if they've ever even been on the... I mean, it's always like New York and L.A. and here and Seattle.
And then all of a sudden it's Washington, D.C., huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have no connections to D.C. I mean, you've been there, but that's about it. There's no like people we know or even old friends from school. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they listened to the podcast in Congress.
definitely.
Pastime.
We definitely qualify for Congress for sure. I do want to know also if there are people out there who have gone to other very weird or strange museums that didn't make our list.
Yeah,
Because
there are
this is so intriguing.
There were some that I didn't put on here.
In interest of time, you can't do them all. Yeah.
There was one in maybe it's Italy. It's a clay pottery shop.
Ooh.
But down in his basement, it's like thousands of strands of women's hair pinned to the walls and ceilings. Like it looks like you're inside Cousin It.
That's gross.
Yeah.
What's
just so he had what's the word?
Impression?
No, a apprentice. There you go. Years ago, like he teaches pottery, and when she was leaving, he's like, "I need something to remember you by." So she cut off a lock of her hair, and he pinned it on the wall, and then it just kind of became a thing.
Gross.
The picture's crazy, but every year. It's great. So they're all pinned with a name of whose they are. And so every year on the 1st of January and I think July, the first person that comes into the store, he takes downstairs and they get to pick 5 random strands of hair. And those people win like a week-long pottery class, instruction, all paid for.
This is so weird. I mean, so weird.
Yeah. So there was that one. There were some other ones that were.
There
There was the
start something.
ventriloquist
We've got to just
museum,
start something weird.
the Band-Aid museum.
Seriously. Used Band-Aids. Which wound is it from?
Whoa. That would be popular, I'm sure, because people are weird.
Oh my gosh.
If you can't tell by listening to our podcast.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it, right?
A lot of weirdos out there.
We're all weird in our own way.
That's true.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well,
all right, you guys.
Next week, you might get episode 11. You might get episode 13.
The mystery. These people are intrigued, I can tell.
Yes.
They're excited about this.
So
Technical difficulties. So
we shall see.
all right.
Okay, everyone have a wonderful night, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.